you know what? I need to go live, and I need to let all my supporters know that that's not true. Miss Nell don't roll like that. Miss Nell ain't playing no side chick for nobody. Okay? That's just not how it go. And yeah. She's referring to Tisha K interview with Martell. No, I'm not referring to Tisha K interview with Martell. For those of you who know, I won't call no names and until I address it. Just stay tuned. Some of you
is finished, but the real drama is just getting started. Kimmi Scott blocked Nell Fletcher, and the Love and Marriage Huntsville fan base is now in a tailspin. Because this isn't just a social media move, let's go back a little. This block had some significant backstage baggage. If you go back a little, Kimmi and Nell weren't always this far apart.
Yeah.
We didn't need no help. We wouldn't have been out here.
You
should have
been. Okay.
Your ass wouldn't be arguing over no road.
Yo, my ass is right here, Nell. What the f*** is wrong with her?
Indeed, Nell was welcomed to the group by Kimmi early on, and she even showed her grace when some of the other women appeared uncertain about her. Instagram exchanges, such as comments under mutual support photos, abruptly ceased when Kimmi stopped responding to Nell's posts. There were no likes, comments, or tags, and it became evident that this wasn't an accident when fans began to ask questions. This wasn't just a case of filming fatigue. Something genuine happened here, and when a woman like Kimmi, who typically keeps things professional, starts drawing public boundaries, emotions were obviously still running high, even after the cameras have stopped. That's a sign. However, if you feel that this is unexpected, think again. Insiders say this feud has been simmering for a long time and is about to explode. Here is where things began to take a turn. Didn't Nell become closer to Letitia and Marceau Scott? That might not have been a huge deal on its own, but Kimmi and Marceau have a tumultuous past. Kimmi has publicly stated that she doesn't always trust Marceau's intentions, particularly when it comes to the way he resolves conflicts or inserts himself into group drama. Consequently, it raised eyebrows when Nell began spending more time with Letitia and Marceau, appearing in selfies, laughing on live streams, and even echoing some of their views during group discussions. Because Kimmi was perceptive, she probably noticed the shift and began to wonder if Nell was surrounding herself with people who didn't really support her. In the realm of love and marriage, Huntsville friendships are alliances, so it wasn't just a social issue, it turned political. Moreover, relationships are crucial, so Kimmi noticed when Nell appeared to be picking a side.
Yeah, I'm gonna protect my peace, but this has been on my heart. This has been weighing on my heart because I didn't know that this was a big deal.
However, there are rumors that Nell made a hurtful remark about Kimmi's health journey off camera. Those who were close to the situation say it felt dismissive, but it's unclear exactly what was said. Given how candid and open Kimmi has been about her health issues, it's almost like a backhanded remark, disguised as concern. That kind of remark is hurtful. For Kimmi, it's more than just drama, it's personal. And that one remark was the last straw, turning what began as shifting alliances into something personal. And Kimmi wasn't going to overlook that. Fans saw that Kimmi had formerly unfollowed Nell on Instagram not long after filming was finished. In the realm of reality TV, an unfollow goes a long way. But Kimmi went one step further and hit the block button, making it obvious that fake connections and passive energy were no longer welcome. Naturally, the fan base noticed it right away and screenshots began to circulate. Everyone's reaction to what transpired between Kimmi and Nell was the same. Nell wrote, "Sometimes peace means letting go," as a quote on her Instagram story shortly after the block. Although names were not mentioned, the timing was so blatantly offensive that it felt like a jab, a means of acknowledging the consequences without getting caught up in the chaos. Finally, not long after Kimmi responded with her own post, "Distance is peace," fans weren't the only ones who were watching. The quotes were liked, disliked, and reposted by other cast members. Every move in the digital chess match alluded to the real-life crack beneath it. The tension between Kimmi and Nell didn't remain after she pressed the block button. Things started to get complicated when it started to affect the Scott family. Maurice Scott? After being thrust into the center, Kimmi's husband reportedly made multiple behind-the-scenes attempts to mediate in order to prevent the situation from blowing up. Those with knowledge of the production claimed that Maurice was attempting to repair the damage by speaking with his brother Marceau and his wife Kimmi in an effort to make things better before they worsened. But here's the issue. Not everyone was in favor of peace, and Marceau, who was never afraid to stir things up, was allegedly doing just that. It has come to light that he began disclosing fragments of private conversations that were intended to remain within the family. These were not merely lighthearted texts, rather they were extremely emotional exchanges. Kimmi might have disclosed confidential information to Maurice, and that kind of violation only made matters worse. Kimmi might have thought that her family was betraying her, not just a friend, and Maurice was torn between his brother's and his wife's loyalty, and there was no simple solution. His normal confidence vanished in the final group scenes, and in its place was a tension that was practically palpable on screen. The split even began to influence the post-production shaping of scenes. Bull concurred that producers appeared to change the plot a little in an attempt to prevent the family from appearing totally broken on screen, but viewers who paid close attention noticed that the editing was less cohesive than usual. It was no longer only about who was fighting, it was also about which aspects of the conflict were omitted in order to preserve the larger picture. Things become messy when the family is pulled in, because this block did more than just split two women. It rocked the Scott family tree. The love and marriage Huntsville set was anything but tranquil while all of this was going on and behind closed doors. Cast members were walking on eggshells during the final days of filming, according to insiders. And the typical energy that permeates Rap Week was replaced by icy greetings, low eye contact, and a glaring divide that no producer could overlook. According to a source, Kimmi refused to film with some cast members if Nell would be present, so the confessionals had to be entirely reorganized. Even though some of her prepared talking points were changed to soften the tension, her delivery still had an awkward energy, and the final cast dinner ultimately fell apart. When Nell arrived first, he appeared unconcerned and smiled for the cameras as if nothing was wrong. However, the tone changed when Kimmi arrived, and they remained largely quiet except when she felt compelled to speak. You could sense the tension even though the other actors tried to keep things going. Because the scenes weren't working, the production reportedly cut them shorter than planned. They knew that what should have been a joyous farewell had devolved into a Cold War and the final cast dinner. Let's assume that Unity left the building. Following the Instagram quotes and the public block, fans took to social media, and the responses were immediate. Kimmi appeared proud and boisterous, praising her for setting boundaries and kicking out those who didn't support her piece. Her supporters commended her for preserving her energy, particularly in light of the group drama and health issues she has faced. Team Nell, on the other hand, had their own opinion and accused Kimmi of being a victim and manipulating the story to make herself appear to be the one who was harmed. The fact that Kimmi has a history of remaining silent until she can control the message was brought up by some fans, and they think this block was just another instance of that tactic. One commenter said, Kimmi, another one added, let's not forget how Nell had Kimmi's back at that charity event when no one else said a word, and now she's blocked. This was a calculated move. It wasn't just that something's wrong. In an effort to uncover hints that alluded to this fallout earlier in the season, some fans even began sifting through old episodes. Nell chose the path of radio silence while Kimmi made her position clear with that unfollow and subtly posted on Instagram. She has been sharing peaceful yoga pictures of herself smiling in the outdoors while stretching, but she has been saying nothing at all. No hashtags, no captions, no clues, just quiet, stillness, and calm. However, fans aren't duped by the rumors that have begun to circulate about silence. According to some sources, Nell is holding back because she is getting ready to share her side of the story in a sit-down interview that won't be altered, filtered, or influenced by the production. Rumor has it that she's sick of being portrayed as the messy one, while Kimmi receives what some refer to as a protected edit. According to Nell, she feels like she was thrown under the bus during filming because some scenes made her appear shady or disloyal, while other scenes that would have highlighted her viewpoint were either omitted or minimized. That sort of frustration doesn't go away overnight, and you can bet she'll bring a receipt if she truly intends to talk. But sometimes the loudest message is silence, and Nell has been incredibly quiet lately, leaving fans to wonder what she's saving for. The reunion is the center of attention right now. The key question is whether Kimmi will discuss it on camera or if she is being cautious. Whether this is true or not, it demonstrates how deep this cut went, because this wasn't just a one-episode argument. It became part of the entire love and marriage Huntsville story. and there is already speculation that Kimmi may have asked producers to restrict certain conversations or even threatened to not appear if certain questions were raised. Additionally, it has the potential to change how viewers perceive both women, depending on how it is handled. Fans will call it out if the reunion stays away from it. If it does, we might finally get a better understanding of what actually transpired between Kimmi and Nell, and how long-term, who returns the following season, what dynamics change, and which friendships endure could all be impacted by this fallout. Owner must choose between keeping the peace and allowing the true story to unfold. As the reunion draws near, everyone is wondering if we will hear the truth or a filtered version of it. Regardless of what transpired between Kimmi and Nell, one thing is certain: the drama didn't end with the cameras rolling, and as long as both women continue to stand their ground, the fallout will likely continue. Which side do you support, Team Nell or Kimmi? Leave a comment with your thoughts. If you are living for the chaos, hit the like button and remember to subscribe for more marriage and love. Huntsville tea that you won't find anywhere else.